Depth hasn't disappeared. It's been made unwelcome. Not through censorship, not through force, but through something quieter and far more effective. Discouragement, mislabeling, the slow withdrawal of reward. Intelligence is no longer challenged, it's muted. Discernment is reframed as judgment. Depth is treated as excess, as intensity, as ego. Not because it's wrong, but because it unsettles. What we're living inside of isn't a lack of intelligence. It's a growing fear of it. And fear, once normalized, doesn't stay personal. It becomes culture. Societies don't collapse from too much intelligence. They collapse from the refusal to face it. There was a time when complexity was welcomed, when thought was sharpened through engagement, not softened for comfort. That didn't disappear overnight. It shifted. Nuance became inconvenient. Clarity began to feel threatening. Depth, once associated with insight, became associated with disruption. Asking better questions started to feel like breaking an unspoken rule. This wasn't the loss of intelligence. It was the reassignment of value. What once expanded understanding now slows things down. What once refined thought now complicates things. What once revealed truth now makes people uncomfortable. And discomfort, in this moment, is treated as a moral failure. We now live in a culture that rewards agreement over discernment. Silence is praised as kindness. Compliance is framed as compassion. To question is to risk being labeled difficult, or unsafe, or divisive. The appearance of harmony has been elevated above the substance of truth. But harmony that depends on suppression isn't harmony at all. It's management. Agreement has become a shortcut. It preserves belonging without requiring honesty. It soothes the nervous system. It avoids the labor of self-examination. Discernment asks more. It asks presence. It asks responsibility. And that makes people uneasy. Depth doesn't flatter. It removes refuge. To encounter depth is to encounter yourself, without filters, without borrowed language, without distraction. It asks, what do you actually know? Not what you've repeated, not what you've aligned with, but what you've examined, integrated, lived. That question destabilizes a culture trained to outsource meaning. So depth is softened, or spiritualized, or dismissed, not because it's dangerous, but because it's exacting. This is a quiet war. No public bans, no official decrees, just erosion. Algorithms favor flattening. Institutions reward compliance. Social systems quietly punish complexity. Depth isn't outlawed. It's made expensive. Socially, energetically, economically. Those who carry it are asked, sometimes gently, sometimes not, to dilute, to soften, to make themselves easier to consume. And when they don't, they're often met with silence rather than resistance. Silence leaves no marks, and it works. There are people who feel out of step with this moment, not because they are superior, but because they are unwilling to flatten themselves to belong. Their work moves slowly. Their voices don't trend easily. They're told, subtly or directly, to simplify. What they carry isn't arrogance, it's weight. Depth bearers have always existed in times like this. They don't lead crowds. They don't arrive with applause. They hold the line while values invert, while meaning thins, while intelligence is treated as a liability. They're not early because they're wrong. They're early because depth always arrives before it's welcomed. There will be a correction. There always is. But corrections don't come quickly, and they don't come gently. They arrive when the cost of suppression becomes unbearable, when coherence collapses, when meaning fractures. History isn't obligated to move at a pace that feels fair. What is certain is this: depth doesn't disappear because it's unwelcome. It waits. It endures. It continues to be carried by those willing to live without the reassurance of consensus. Depth doesn't need permission. Intelligence doesn't need agreement. And this quiet war, like all wars on truth, will not last forever.